Hi, welcome back to Let's Call It a Journey. I'm Donna, and today I'm going to talk about motivation, how to get it and how to sustain it. So we have dopamine releasing neurons in the brain, and they release dopamine if we receive something good, or more importantly, if we expect to receive something good. So basically, if we expect a reward, we are more likely to feel motivated in the now. So that's the brain. So we're going to look at the human condition now. So imagine you have something that you need to do and take action on now. Okay, so when we notice that we've got something to do now, we can feel quite stuck and paralysed. And the reason why this happens is because the brain knows that it needs to do something. So it searches memory for when it's needed to do things, maybe a similar task, or perhaps it's an interview or an assignment, or something that you need to do, get done, or there's a deadline you need to get it done by, and you feel paralysed in the moment. What your brain does is go back to the past and it searches to see when you had to deal with something similar before. And basically your brain plays in the now the emotions of the past. So if it was, for example, an assignment, an essay you had to write or something, or some revision, what would happen is your brain would say, last time this happened, you felt sad, you felt stressed, and you just felt uncomfortable. It's an R in there. And what we do in the now is we replay those emotions. So as soon as our brain takes us back to that past, to review what happened last time, it brings up for us these emotions, and in the now we experience those emotions. The other thing it does is it uses that information to project into the future what it thinks we might feel. And the problem with that is what it thinks we might feel is based on what happened in a past situation, which actually hasn't happened yet and may not happen. So what's happening is the brain plays in the now the old emotions of the past. So in the now, that's what we're experiencing. And then it uses those emotions when we're now to predict what it thinks might happen in the future. So it'll predict that we're going to feel sad, stressed, uncomfortable when we have to do or complete or start that task. So what happens is we don't start it. We stay stuck, and we kind of wait around to feel motivated. Unfortunately, motivation doesn't happen. We don't feel motivated to do things. We feel motivated once we are doing things. And so we are just stuck and we don't do what needs doing, and that doesn't make us feel very good either. So what we can do, and what's really important to know or learn about, is we can, in our now, practice the emotions that we want to feel in our future by making that a daily practice. So we can either practice the old emotions of the past to dictate how we're going to feel in our now or the future, or we can, in our now moments, remember it's the only moment we have any control over anything that we do or feel, and we can look to our future and predict a future that we'd like to feel. So if we look into the future and see ourselves achieving, making a start on the task, or completing the task, we're likely to feel perhaps relief, maybe happy, maybe more content. And if in our now we look to that and we create the feelings that we want to feel in the future, and we're not pulled by the past emotions to dictate what we're going to do next, in our now moments we have this really amazing opportunity to look at how we want to feel in the future. And we can change our emotional state in the moment to how we want to feel. And it is just practice. So we can either practice how we want to feel, or we can practice how we have felt. So if we use that now moment to firstly create a vision of our future self, and then we also use that present moment to connect with a feeling based on that future self, how we want to feel, and then we also sit with that feeling, we're more likely to feel motivated because we're releasing them dopamine chemicals in the brain. So there's then 3 stages. We visualize, create a vision of ourselves, future self, how we want to feel. We connect with the feeling, and then we sit with that feeling for as long as we can. So I'm going to guide you in a practice now to help you do that. And it's a short practice, but if you need longer, you can continue it for longer. So I'm not going to kind of come in and talk at the end. If there's anything else that you would like to see, please let me know in the comments below, and let me know if this has been helpful. Share if you think there's anybody else that you know that might find this helpful. And the other thing I was going to talk to you about is following the practice. You may feel a level of motivation that you didn't feel before. I mean, that's what we're aiming for. And we're using an elevated emotional state to be able to do that you create and you connect with, basically. Following this, what I would suggest is when the practice is over, time 10-15 minutes on your phone. And for that 10-15 minutes, do the thing that you've been putting off or procrastinating. And at the end of that 10-15 minutes, when the timer goes off, if you want to continue, just continue. If you don't, then at least you've made a start. And just remember that sometimes that, that's enough in that moment. So give that a go. Let me know how you get on, and I will guide you through the practice now. Sit upright. Breathe in. Breathe out. Visualize yourself at a time in the future where you have completed or started the task you've been putting off doing. It could be an hour from now, it could be later today, tomorrow, next week, or next month. Visualize how you feel now that the task has been started or completed. Notice how good you feel. Notice where you feel this in your body. And breathe into that feeling. Keep your attention on that feeling and breathe into that feeling. Notice where it is in your body. Notice your future self feeling good. Notice how they look. Notice what they're doing now the task is complete or underway. Notice the feeling. And continue breathing into that feeling, long, slow, even breaths, as you visualize your future self and how grateful they are to you for starting or completing the task. connect with that feeling. The feeling of your future self, starting or completing the task. Breathe into that feeling. Allow yourself to notice how good it feels to feel good. Slowly, gently bring yourself back to now, this present moment. Breathe in and out. Allow your breathing to return to a normal rate. When you're ready, open your eyes and begin.